Okay, so hello guys, how you doing? Hope everybody's fine. So today we'll be talking about table HTML tables. So what are tables? Let's go to W3 School. Let's see the definition. So tables allow web developers to arrange data into rows and columns. So like your primary school, secondary school result sheet. The way that line is, the way it's arranged inside the table format. So that's what a table basically is. So at this example of a table too, this side here is called the header. That's the table header. Then the ones written beneath them, below them, is called the table rows. So how do we create tables in HTML? So let's see the example of how to create them in HTML. We'll start with the table tag. Then we start with the TR that is called table rows. Then inside the TR has open and closing tags. They will now call the TH tags inside. So let's do the same thing here. Let's go here. Let me call my document. Then I'll come here. I'll say table tag. That's the first thing. You can see you have the open and closing tags. Remember, starting and ending tags. So we can come here now and we'll call the T arrow tags. Now the T arrow tags has the open and closing tags. Now this first T arrow will work for the table headers. So we are going to come here and say TH. The TH stands for table header. You can see table header. So text should be inside here, okay? So it can't be empty. So let me type first name. After that, I'll enter. I'll say TH again, and I'll say email. After that again, I'll say TH again. I'll say address. After that, I'll come in again, say TH, and I'll now say phone. So let's just leave 4 items here, okay? Remember, this is a T arrow open and this is T arrow closing. These are all inside the table open tags and closing tags. So let's come beneath this T arrow. After this T arrow, let's get another T arrow now. Now this time around, I'm going to create the table data. So how do we do that? We'll now say TD. Remember, this one is a TH. That means table header. Now I'm creating the table data where names can align with all these items we have here in the header. So I'm going to come here and say red like. Then I'll come here again, TD, and I'll say email red at mail.com. Then I'll come again, TD, and I'll give an address 104 Square Road. Then phone number, I'll come again, TD, and I'm going to call the phone number 13567899901. So this is a phone number, right? We have 4 items here in the header and 4 items in the table data. You have to be careful. Don't give more than if you have 4 on the top, always make sure you have 4 below also. So let's go and refresh. Let's see what we got here. Let's go to our folder. I'm going to open it up now. So now this is how our table looks like. It's not looking pretty though, but let's work on it. So the next thing to do is this. Since we've given the TDs, okay, let's give one more TD to make it look nice. So this T arrow open and T arrow close. Immediately after the T arrow open and T arrow close, I'm going to create another T arrow. Then I'll say TD. I'm just going to write another name, Emmanuel Logos. Then the address should be, no, the email should be emma@mail.com. Then the third one is TD again. That's the address, 305 Orange Street. Then the last one is his phone number. I'll just say 789-444 like that. Let's just have a phone number. So let's go and refresh. Let's see what we got here. Let's refresh. All right, so you can see these ones are bold. These are the headers, right? Then this one is the body. table body. You can add as many things as you like. I can copy this, paste underneath, then edit it. I'll say Diane Bobs. Then I can come and say Diane, then approve. Then let's just leave the same phone number so we can have data. So once you refresh, you can see we have data inside. Now let's kind of arrange the table. Okay, let's arrange the table. So how can we do that now? There is something called table borders. What's a table border? Now HTML tables can have borders of different styles and shape. The border gives our table line so that we can see how the table looks, how pretty they look. So how do we do this? Remember, we have TRO, TH, right? But the first tag holding them is the table. So I'm just going to come here. I'll create a new CSS. I'll call style. Don't worry, we'll cover all this when the time comes, okay? So I'm just going to come here. I'll say table. Now remember, the first table is the first tag. Then the TRO is the second tag. I'll now say TRO. Then we have another tag called TH. Then I'll mention that tag. I'll say TH. What I did there is simply, let's start again. I just said table. Then I give space TRO, one more space, then TH. That's what I did. Then I'll say curly braces. So I'm going to say border. And I'll say 1 pixel solid black. Do not bother about all this. Just do what I do. In CSS, I'm going to explain how we do this. Okay. So let's come here. Let's refresh. Yes, you can see the lines above each of the elements, right? So let's also do the same to the table data. We only did for the table head. So let's do the same for the table data so it can look nice too. Then I'll come here. I'll say table. Now remember, we did for table head. We said table TRO and TH, which is actually housing these guys. Now we want the one that will house the TRO and the TDs. Okay. So I now say table, and I say TRO. Now let's mention the TD. I'll say TD, curly braces. I also say border, 1 pixel solid black. So once we refresh, you can see. Sorry. So that's the table. Now let's actually make the text to be aligned. You can see our table data. The tests are not really aligned very well. Let's make them to be in the middle, in the center. So what do we do? Inside the table TR and T data, I'll come here, I'll say text align, I'll say center. Then I'll come here, I'll refresh. Now they are looking better than before, right? You can also give background colors to the header. So if I want to give background color to the header, I can go here. I just say background color. Let's just say red. Once you say red, you won't see this text anymore. Okay, we can still see it. You can change the color of this anyway. So how do we change the color? We can come here and say color. I can say white. Then let's refresh. So that's how you can create your table to make them look nice. You can also do background color to the body if you want, but I think I'm just going to leave it like this. So thanks. Any questions, please let me know. But it will be good you read further. Maybe I work on this, in the nearest future. But it will be good you read more. Talk about your table size, headers, padding and spacing, code span, row span, table styling, table code group, and all that. But this is how you create a simple basic table. This is how you create a simple basic table. Okay, guys, take care. Thank you.